What is up, you demons?
Welcome to another disgusting, horrifying episode of Bravado Talk.
My name is Anthony.
And I am Eddie.
What's up, Eddie?
Anthony, this is going to be the second episode of our little Halloween thing, but actually it's episode number 14, and we're going to call this episode Las Mythical Leyendas.
Please explain to our audience what we're going to be talking about today.
So, Anthony, today we're going to talk about getting into the Halloween spirit. We're going to talk about, mythical tales, folk tales, but specifically in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these mythical creatures or mythical people that we're going to talk about today are old folk tales, basically told to us as little kids, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it was kind of funny because when me and Anthony were talking, we were just kind of reminiscing of our childhood, of our parents, and our siblings, kind of reminding us to watch out when you go out at night, or watch out when you don't obey your parents, because these specific creatures might come out for you.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, number 1.
All right. So starting off with our creatures, we're gonna start with the chupacabra.
Ooh,
So,
interesting.
So what is a chupacabra? Well, first of all, the word chupacabra. So chupa. Oh, fuck. Anyways. You stupid.
The look in your face. The look in your face.
All right. Anyways. So you stupid. You stupid. Hey, take it serious, man. Hey, we got a show to do. Hey. Anyways, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we had a little bit of technical difficulties there, but anyways, so the word chupacabra, we're gonna dissect it first. So the word chupa means chupacabra, right? So in Spanish, when they say, oh, so it's a loud ass car there.
Okay, start again.
So the word chupa, pretty much what it means is it means to suck, right? And then cabra, it's like a goat or a sheep, right? So actually doing my research in this, I discovered that let me see, a Puerto Rican comedian, his name is Silverio Perez. He's the one who actually came up with the name, with the term chupacabras, because the first reports of attacks on like the goats and sheep or anything happened in March of 1995.
Where?
So this happened in Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
And so what they discovered was they discovered 8 sheep that, they were all dead, and that the strange thing about it was that they found them dead with 3 puncture wounds on the chest area, and like apparently their blood was completely drained out of their body. So obviously, like from like right there, it's kind of strange I mean, what kind of animal does that, where it like punctures your freaking body and then starts sucking the blood out of you, that's like that's kind of like
sus.
that's like a vampire shit,
Yeah.
So then, like, after that happened, you start seeing more reportings of these animals getting killed or being killed by something, and you actually had people like witnessing something either killing the animal or right after like the animals are killed, like they see something running away and everything. So this is the thing that started kind of like sparking this myth or this legend that there's something out there that's not actually like, that's not an actual like creature, it's like something more, something out of the
Ordinary.
Yeah, ordinary, like paranormal shit,
Okay.
Apparently there were people that thought, no, like maybe it's like a satanic cult or something like that, they're just killing ghosts and everything and all that stuff for whatever satanic shit, sacrifices and everything. But based on like everything that people have seen and like the reports, it just became like a Mexican folk like story, you know, like a legend.
Well, how can it be Mexican if it's
sorry, like a Latin America myth or legend or whatever.
Okay.
So, what is like your, I guess your like your first memory, or what do you remember of the Chupacabra, Eddie?
So how did I first hear about the Chupacabra? I think I heard about it when the first times I went to Mexico, and coming from a big family on my dad's side. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of us cousins. Maybe like, like because I have a lot of cousins, but like in my generation, it was like maybe 16 or like 20 of us. Mm-hmm. And we would talk about, like just like scary stuff in El Rancho, mm-hmm. back in the ranch mm-hmm. in Mexico. And because I was coming from the States, I had to kind of get hazed a little bit to be in the cousin circle.
Damn, you got hazed?
Well, not really hazed, but they would scare me. And I remember they were just like, oh, you got to be careful when you walk back to your house, because it's one big giant stretch of land. And usually where we stay at, I used to stay with my grandfather. And in the ranch, it's separated by mm-hmm. like my different aunts and uncles' mm-hmm. houses. So we would always meet up in the center, because we have like a court, a basketball court, soccer court. Mm-hmm. And they would just be like, oh, you got to be careful, because right there by the tree, at this uncle's house, the Chupacabra is there, and, you got to be careful, because mm-hmm. he actually kills and drinks blood. Mm-hmm. And that's my first vague recollection of Chupacabra, the first time hearing it. I like, the way I saw it was, like you said, like a vampire. But after, like, seeing photos, well, not seeing photos, actual photos of it, but most people describe it as a four-legged creature. Yeah.
So from my experience, I don't think my parents or even my family members actually, try to scare me with it. Mm-hmm. I think I learned about it through like TV, because I don't know if you remember, but there was like a TV program or a show or whatever where they would do like a paranormal like series or whatever, like mm-hmm. every now and then.
It's not unsolved murder mysteries, but
have you heard of Cañitas?
I haven't.
Okay, well,
like a Telemundo show or something like that.
Something like that, right? Where it's like Hoy or the El Gordo y la Flaca, El Gordo y la Flaca, right? Yeah. They talk about celebrities and everything and all that stuff, but like every now and then they would like have like a special where they talk about like ghost appearances or shit like that. Uh-huh. And from what I remember, I think that's how I found out about the Chupacabras. They would talk about it and kind of give you like a little intro on or a backstory on what like their origin and things like that. And even though my family, like I really don't think so. I don't remember exactly, but mm-hmm. I remember just knowing the fact that there was like that creature out there that's like killing goats and sucking their blood dry and everything. Like it was just pretty scary, like you're kind of like, oh shit, like, like if it can do that to like the sheeps or the goats, like what can it do to you?
Yeah,
and I would definitely 100% like be super scared of it. And then they would show like footages, like, oh, like there's like a camera surveillance or like showing the animal or mm-hmm. I remember there was one time they actually showed like a dead animal. It looked like a dog, but it was like hairless. And it could be that like that Mexican hairless dog or whatever.
It's a Cholo Squinkle. That's the breed.
Yeah, it could be that one. But like the eyes, mm-hmm. they looked all weird and everything. And they were saying like, oh, that's for sure the Chupacabras and everything, And dude, as a little kid, I was like, oh shit, like they caught it or whatever, or it's dead. But it's like, like the very thought of like it being a thing, like it just like I remember it used to put a chill on my back.
No, yeah, I think I saw that too. It was a while back too.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
it was like a photo evidence. Yeah, I think it was like kind of like a big one of those like hoax big stories. I guess.
Yeah.
Like how nowadays it's like, oh, Bigfoot appearance or
mm-hmm.
what so be a Bigfoot. But yeah, I remember it was like this dead animal and it was hairless. But they were saying that it was too big to be a Cholo Squinkle, which is a hairless dog.
Right.
But and then like the spine was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like a werewolf / dog /
something like that. Maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, I think.
So let me ask you this: what's the this creature of the chupacabras, this myth? Is it just in Puerto Rico, or has there been sightings, like, according to other people, anywhere else, like Latin America?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. There's like been reportings everywhere, you know, like Dominican Republic, Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, like just pretty much everywhere in North America or South America. Fun fact about the chupacabra. So the chupacabra has become such a just like a well-known, like, mythical creature from like Latin America. That have you played Red Dead Redemption?
The new one,
or the other one?
I think I have.
So, for those of you that don't know about the game, it's like a game based on the Old West.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I think it's, I don't know where exactly it is, but it has to be somewhere on by the border between Mexico and the United States, because there's a part like during Halloween they came out with this like bundle pack, right? And if you got it, like everything, like you get a different story. Like after you finish with the main story, you would get like an alternative story where like you go hunting and there's like zombies everywhere. It was like Halloween theme, right? And one of like the main missions was to go find the chupacabra, and you actually had to go to Mexico, like to the in the game. Mm-hmm. You had to go to Mexico and try to look for it, and yeah, you just find it and you see it running around. It was funny the way they depict it. It looked like a wolf, but it could stand up on like two legs. Yeah. So it was. I think it's just it's just like a little fun fact about it, like the chupacabra. You know, like even it's making it into the video game world. You know. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it's like I think it's a kind of a Latin American version of a Bigfoot.
Yeah, exactly. Because
there's people that do believe in it and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I was gonna ask you, has there been any witnesses, I guess, that have seen the creature in the past or in the present, like now?
Like now,
like kind of testimonies or something like that, or it's just still a myth?
I mean, well, it's like the same like Bigfoot, you know? Or what are you looking at? You're not? Oh. So it's kind of like the same like Bigfoot, you know? Like you're always going to have those people that are always going to be seeing something, you know? So, like, you know, no matter what, there's always going to be someone out there that's going to claim to have seen Bigfoot. And it's going to be the same with the chupacabra, you know? And, I mean, you've had... it says here, let me see. There's like, I guess, a reporting here in October 2019. There was apparently a video recorded by Mundo OVNI. I guess that's a show, and it just, I guess, it shows it showed a supposed attack on chickens in the Ceburuquillo sector of Lares, Puerto Rico. So, you know, like up to like this, like today, you know, nowadays, there's still, I guess, people out there still trying to figure out like who's causing all these deaths, you know, of these animals, and you know, trying to like debunk the idea that there's a chupacabra, or finding out that the chupacabra is actually a thing, you know.
Who knows?
Yeah, but dude, that's definitely like one of the most iconic ones.
Oh yeah, big time.
From Latin America for sure.
All right, so moving on, correct?
Yes, sir. All right, so
give us number 2.
Number 2, it's gonna be El Coco, and not to confuse it with the new movie Coco.
Not the Disney movie,
not
that's for sure.
Pixar movie, that's not for sure.
Mm-hmm. Not the Disney movie.
So Eddie, what from your own experience, what do you remember of El Coco?
Well, my own experience, or what do I know about it, or
whatever,
what have I been portrayed about it?
Whatever, dude.
Okay, so as a kid, I was always told because I always had older siblings, mostly my sisters, because my mom and dad would work.
So your sisters would do this.
So my sisters, every time I wanted like a cup of juice, I remember they'd be like, "Oh, no vayas porque el cucuy se come los niños que toman jugo like after 9 p.m." Right? And I'd be like, okay. Or, you know, I would want to go play outside and they'd be like, no, porque ya está el cucuy te va a llevar. Mm-hmm. So later on, while growing up, I digged into a little bit deep in, I think it was middle school, just because it was like Halloween time too. And they were just telling stories of like, you know, about our culture. And I searched up El Cucuy, and I'm not sure, you can fact check me on this, but I remember that I read that it said that apparently it was like a soldier back in the days. I can't remember, like a Mexican soldier, and he fought, but he was responsible for some killings and I don't know what. But that's as much as I know. What about you?
So same as you, like, and but this will come from I'm pretty sure my mom would say it a couple times from here and there, like you said, like, oh, don't do this or don't do that. It's funny that you say that your sisters would tell you the cucuy, no?
Yeah.
I think I came to know it as el coco. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember it very well, but I'm pretty sure it was the coco. But I mean, some other names have been el coco, el cucuy, de la cuca. So, you know, who knows, depending on where you're from. You know, you can call it, you know, whatever you want. But I mean, did you ever have like an image of El Coco or whatever? Like, I never had an image of it.
I did.
It was always
I always portrayed it as like a reaper, kind of tall.
For me,
just with red eyes and like I don't think it's racist, but it was kind of like, you know, like a brown boned carcass, like a skeleton kind of, with like red eyes and kind of like big shoulders. Okay,
so the big shoulders, I used to have that image on my head of like big shoulders, but like super hairy for some reason. Porque like coco, right? So it's like a coconut. Like, if you don't know, like a coconut. Oh, okay. You know, so I thought like it had like all those hairs. Like, that's how I pictured it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's actually funny that now that I think about it. I think even for the eyes, you know how the coconuts have like the three, like kind of like the three holes or whatever. Like, I thought that was like, you know, the two eyes in the mouth.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I used to portray the coco. But yeah, from a very young age, I never had like an actual like image or whatever. I don't think there's even an actual image now today or whatever to really put on El Coco. It's just like so the thing about it is that El Coco was kind of just invented in order to scare kids. You know, parents would go around telling their kids to behave in a certain way, right? And tell them that if they didn't do as they told them, that, you know, this monster would come at night and either kidnap or eat them or whatever, or take their spirits away or something like that. So it definitely, like, you know, it became a household like name, you know, in Latin America for sure. I mean, it says here even including Spain and Portugal, right? That, you know, if you as a little kid misbehave or anything, like, that it was gonna get you. And for those of you that weren't raised with El Coco, you guys might have known it as the boogeyman. It's like the same. It's like the similar or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's kind of translation.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's our version of boogeyman, I guess.
Yeah. But anyways, there is a rhyme. So apparently there is the oldest rhyme about the coco was originated in the 17th century, and and it was written by Juan Caxes. I think I'm saying that right. Juan Cajes? Probably Cajes, right? Cajes?
Maybe.
Juan Cajes.
Okay.
Yeah, probably, for sure. So, I'm about to say it. And a lot of you out there from Latin America might know this one by now. But the rhyme goes, duérmete niño, duérmete ya, que viene el coco y te comerá.
Dramatic effect. So to my non-Spanish speakers, I'll translate for that. So it's pretty much sleep, child, sleep now, or else the cocoa comes and will eat you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much, you know, is it hazing? I think it's more of a bullying.
It's it's a tactic.
Like, oh,
it's a tactic.
It is a tactic. I think it's a parenting tactic that's genius per se, because as a little kid, you're just scared of everything. You know, you're barely getting grasp of things, and
I mean, you're looking up to your parents. You know, your parents are the people that you're,
and they're your fact checkers.
Yeah, exactly. And then they tell you that there's a monster out there that is gonna get you if you misbehave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they would even pull out the You ever had the? I'm sure you have, where your parents, you know, they tell you stop misbehaving, or that man right there, and they would point at him
at the store.
They would point at him and be like, that man will take you, and then you'd be like, oh, no, please. And they picked the meanest looking ones too, the scariest ones,
the sus ones.
Yeah, the super sus, the one with the coat and the hat.
Yeah, big time. That's my input on the Coco.
But yeah, dude. Did you remember this rhyme, the one we just talked about?
Yeah, I remembered it, but honestly, it's been years because I've been on my best behavior, Anthony. So I haven't been told that lullaby.
I didn't remember, dude. When I was little, like young, I would remember my mom singing it to me before we go to bed. But I don't remember saying I don't remember her saying "el coco te comerá," or maybe she did, but it sounds a little harsh. Before going to bed.
Yeah.
So I do remember the first part, the "duérmete niño, duérmete ya" part. But the last part, either I forgot already, or it's just, I don't know. It just seems too harsh to say to a child nowadays. I don't know.
So this isn't real. It's just
no. It was like an evil spirit created by people that's the main purpose of it, to kind of just scare your child, to tell your child to not behave in a certain way, or to not do a couple certain things. If not, that will take them. But I'm sure from there, people start expanding on it. And
yeah, because I'm telling you, I heard that story of him becoming a soldier and
yeah, bro. I mean, legends
yeah.
get told, and you say it one way, and then they say it to someone else, and just they start tweaking it here and there. It just becomes a complete different story.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's el coco, el cucuy, or whatever you want to call it.
So that's gonna end the wrap on the cucuy, or the coco, or the boogeyman.
The cuca? Is that it? Yeah.
Where I'm from, that's a different. Anyways.
Really? No, wait. What?
No. Anyways, we're moving on. Choo-choo. Next stop, number 3. And I'm going to take this one because I did my research when I was in high school.
Did you really?
Yeah. So a little backstory of my research on this mythical creature, mythical person. It was 9th grade of high school for me, my freshman year of high school, and it was an ethnic studies class that I took, and we were learning about our roots and Chicano and Latino and all that Latin America culture of ours, our history. And so my teacher was just like, hey, what the heck, why not do a mythical creature? So me and my partner, we were teamed up into groups and to do a presentation, and we got La Llorona.
Nice. So let me guess. You had to dress up as La Llorona. You went in front of the class.
No.
And no?
No, it was nothing like that.
That would have been cool.
But this is number 3, La Llorona. So for my non-Spanish speakers, I'm going to go ahead and break it down to you. La Llorona is basically the wailing woman or the crier. It can go either as or. But this is a Hispanic American folktale, La Llorona, and she is a legend about a woman who drowned her children and mourns their deaths for eternity, roaming Latin America areas as a ghost or apparition. Multiple variations exist, as is common in oral tradition. Ooh. Okay. So breakdown. And I still have my presentation, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Shout out to Google.
Pull up the presentation? The presentation
that's
on
what I'm
Google
doing.
Docs or whatever.
So here we go. So La Llorona is sometimes identified as Malitzin, or what it's popularly known as La Malinche. So her actual name, or what she was going by, was La Malinche. And she was a Nahua woman who served as Hernán Cortés's interpreter, which Hernán Cortés, which most people know, was a Spanish conquistador. And La Malinche was also Hernan's mistress and bore his children, and who some way say was betrayed by the Spanish conquistadors, like I mentioned. So pretty much, he kind of grew feelings for her because when they came to the land,
I remember that.
when they came to the land, they couldn't, you have dialect from the Aztecs and you have Spanish, and so only it was La Malinche per se. I know her as La Malinche. I don't know her as Malitzin.
Oh,
but I know her as La Malinche, so I'm gonna go ahead and refer to her as La Malinche.
So Malitzin is her name?
Malintzin, yeah.
That's her name.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's dialect. You gotta understand that in Aztec, it's dialect that they talk.
Right.
They don't talk a certain language. So, she was kind of like one of the higher ups for like Aztec culture. She was part of this like big tribe where it's in Mexico City apparently, and that's where it all started. And fortunate enough for Hernan Cortés, he found his translator, and that's how they would exchange and talk. But aside from that, like I mentioned, La Malinche did bore Hernan Cortés's children, but only in future years to only be abandoned so that he can marry a Spanish lady. Okay, so it's pretty much a stab in the back, and Hernan Cortés kind of how do I say? Hernan Cortés kind of neglected.
Well, it's I'm sure it was like a thing back then, like back in the day, where it was more like you're supposed to marry
Well, technically you're supposed to have more than one woman and have different children.
Is that why?
Back in the day, I'm not sure.
Isn't it because like obviously he's Spanish, right? Mm-hmm. So like they have to like I guess marry like their own. Like that's kind of sound weird, but like they had to marry like another Spanish person, right? I mean that was her you said her servant, no? So it's like wasn't it looked down upon back then?
I mean
to be hooking up with.
I mean,
the mistress.
It's only our thought and kind of our opinion, but who knows, right?
I think it was like that.
Maybe it was. So it could be a theory because I don't want to change. I don't want to change the story here.
Right.
But yeah. So that could be a theory of ours, right?
That's my theory, and I'm going with it.
So pretty much, the Aztec pride drove La Malinche to acts of vengeance, right?
Right.
So. It also is common that when Hernan Cortés, from being a leader and teaching the new world per se, he would kind of neglect, like I mentioned, La Malinche, and would focus more attention to his kids, his boys.
Oh, really?
Because they had to, yeah. So I guess she was kind of jealous of it.
I remember that, yeah.
So while, story tells that when Hernan Cortés went on, his next business day to kind of teach Aztecs and, the Spaniards to work together and to build the new world that they self-proclaimed, La Malinche literally went with her kids and dragged them out to the lake and drowned them.
River, no? Lake or river?
River, lake.
Whatever.
I'm not sure with with a river. Yeah, un
river,
río.
No?
Un río.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right,
my translation was kind of off. Thank you. And when she went back, obviously she was cooking. Oh, dude, she was mistreated, but she would always have like food for Hernan Cortés right when he, got off work.
Yeah.
But he was always taken care of, and so when he came home, he was just like, where are my kids? And so she kind of broke the news to him. She lied at first, saying that they got lost or they got robbed. Mm-hmm. But after, Hernan did this whole mission of finding his kids and all this and that, she kind of spilled the beans on him. And like I mentioned, he did find someone else. So he left her and went to someone else. That's why I mentioned that the Aztec pride drove La Malinche to acts of vengefulness, right? Mm-hmm. So before the Spaniards arrived in Tenochtitlan, there was 7 ugly omens. The 6th of those was a woman screaming in the night, crying, Where will I take you, oh my children? Stories of a weeping female phantoms are common in the folklore of both Iberian and indigenous American cultures. Scholars have pointed out similarities between La Llorona and the
Chihuahuatl.
Yeah.
Chihuahuatl, yeah.
Chihuahuatl of Aztec mythology, as well as Eve and Lilith of Hebrew mythology. Author Ben Radford's investigation in the legend of La Llorona, published in Mysterious New Mexico, traces elements of the backstory of German folktale dating from earliest of 1486.
Jesus.
So yeah.
1486.
Huh?
1486.
1486. That's what I said, no?
I don't think so.
What did I say?
Something else. You
What
said
did I
something
say?
else. But anyways, go on.
So pretty much, going back to La Llorona, she's really big. They came out with a film.
Yeah, movie.
In 2003.
3
or 4. That's my recollection because I remember my sisters and my cousins went to go watch it. But that was, again, I think that was a film in Mexico. But they brought it back here in the States.
So the most recent movie of La Llorona is
2019.
I want to say, was it 2019?
It says a film 2019.
The Curse of La Llorona. Yeah, bro, because like...
So let me ask you, now that I've told you the story and, she kind of, acts of vengefulness. I guess, Anthony, do you have any remembrance or of La Llorona from yourself? Like, what have you heard about her? And
so from the story, one of the things that I thought happened was that did Hernan Cortez did he not get her killed or something? And then that's why she...
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Did you say that on?
I didn't say that because I was going off by a different story. But like we talked about with the chupacabras, it's kind of all told similar, but it's just different endings.
Yeah, because I remember hearing it that he got pissed, right? He got pissed that she killed the kids. So then he killed.
Sorry, but before I go on, that story I got it from a textbook, but that's from my presentation. So the one that you're saying with the ending that Hernan Cortez had her killed, I remember that, but that's because that's the folktale that they told, that not the
that
school
you got told,
but that's the folktale that I got told.
I see.
So sorry, if you can continue.
Yeah. So anyways, I remember that he had her killed, and then that's why she regrets it because, if it wasn't for her killing the kids, she wouldn't have been killed. So then I guess she goes on looking for the kids, trying to redeem herself, I guess, kind of.
Yeah.
To kind of get the kids or whatever, and again, to kind of just come back to life, or something like that. But that's my recollection of that Llorona, and man, I think this is one of the scariest ones, the scary folktales that we had in Mexico, where the Llorona. I mean, because okay. So to expand on that story, so the Llorona is looking for her kids, right? So I guess the story went that, if either you misbehaved or just to scare the kids, that Llorona was gonna get you because you were technically like I guess she was gonna take you. So in order to to pretend that you're the kid or whatever that she killed or that she lost, and that she was gonna take you in order to get your soul or something like that. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
Because again, what I was saying earlier, that the Llorona is trying to get her kids back, right? Because to kind of redeem herself,
to kind of get back to Hernan Cortez, and
right.
It's his lost lover too.
Right. So that's why she's trying to get kids. Any kid to do that, to get that goal, and you could be one of those kids,
Yeah.
So that's why it was super scary, that, especially back in the day when I was in Mexico, to even know about the Llorona, dude. I remember one time I was I couldn't sleep and I was sweating because I had just learned about the Llorona, and man, I couldn't sleep at all. It was just crazy. And then again, I used to watch those shows with the special the Halloween special or whatever, that they would talk about it, and man, they would show surveillance footage of sightings of the Llorona, and dude, it was just super just freaking me out. I remember I would try to go to sleep and I was sweating, and I was bugging the crap out of my mom, telling her man, I'm super scared and everything, and she'd be like, oh, mijo, it's okay or whatever. But yeah, I remember that was this. It's just such a scary one to think about.
And so I guess to kind of elaborate on that, Anthony, I found a couple of encounters, And so there's this actual testimony of well, he's a man now, but he said, when I was a boy and my family, we were sitting near a creek between Mora and Guadalupita in New Mexico. When we saw the form of a tall, thin woman, she quickly seemed to float over the water and up the hill out of sight until she returned a little later, even closer to us. Or so he's telling this in the third person to them. The family had suspicions that she was La Llorona, so they went to the shore to see if they were footprints, and there were none. They believe they saw La Llorona. Mm-hmm. And here's another one. Another encounter occurred when a band of brothers left the ranch in Ofo de la Vaca to head towards La Villa Real de Santa Fe. On their way, they encountered a tall woman wearing a black tapelio and a black net to cover her face. Two of the boys who were riding in front seat of the wagon stated that the spirit sat right between them. She remained with the boys until they decided to return home. This is where she uttered, "I will visit you again someday when you argue with your mother." This tale corresponds to the actions of La Llorona showing up when children are misbehaving and is warning to children to be respectful. Ooh.
Have you ever seen there was like a recent footage. It might have been, I don't think it was in Mexico, it was somewhere. But
well, keep in mind that La Llorona supposedly roams over, Latin America and the States too.
Right, that's yeah. And it's a guy. Have you seen it? It's a guy. He's like recording with his phone. Mm-hmm. Like I think it's the middle of the night, and there's crying, and you can hear it like super loud, like someone crying, and he looks at it like, and there's a lady in like the middle of the street, and she's just like with her head down and with her hair, her hair down and everything, and he like zooms in on her, and she's doing nothing. She's literally like this. Like just looking down, and she's crying, and then the video ends. Have you seen it?
No.
It's super weird. It's super scary. It's super sketch.
Yeah, well, that's gonna tie it for La Llorona. And if you listeners have any stories to tell us, go ahead and share. We're gonna have a different episode to tell about scary stories.
Yeah, or if you have any mythical creatures that we might have missed.
Yeah, that we missed.
Yeah, that we missed. Please let us know, especially on YouTube in our comment section. Mm-hmm. But that's like a good summary of some of the Latin American or from Europe creatures or myths or whatever that we heard from a very young age and kind of kept us on our toes. Mm-hmm. Really, for sure, made me reconsider. But yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and end this positive episode with a shout out corner. Let's go.
Bap, bap, bap.
Bam. Anyways, you want to go ahead and pull out the app?
Fucking. Let me see. Dude, we got a bunch of shout outs today, bro.
Yes, we did. And that's what we like. We always like shout outs when you guys give out.
You guys are getting on it, bro.
You guys are the goats.
But unfortunately, we're going to be having to cut it short. But you know what? You start.
Okay.
You start.
So first one is going to come in from one of our close fans.
Oh, for sure, close fans.
At Lily Pescado. And she wants to say, I'm going to shout out to Vanessa for reminding me to give myself a break and for being an amazing friend. Vanessa, you are a nice friend. Congratulations for watching out for others.
Say thanks to your friend.
Yeah, for real. Who you got, Anthony?
Next one is from Too Cozy Daniel. He wants to give a shout out to himself.
Hey,
Daniel.
Self-care.
Hey. Yeah, exactly. So high five. Let's go.
High five.
Good job on you. Good job on you.
Good job.
Sometimes when you don't have anyone to give you a shout out, who do you give a shout out to?
Yourself.
Yeah. Yourself.
You give credit when credit is due.
That's right. Yeah.
And next we have at Kev K Waka.
Kev. Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
Kev K Waka.
You're gonna have to change your name, bro.
And he said, "I want to shout out Eddie."
Hey. So you know what, Kevin? One of the things that people don't know is that when he supports someone, he really, really, really like goes out of his way to give 100%. He's been a close listener of our podcast. He's always giving shout outs. Sometimes we never get to his shout outs, but he's great.
But we're
great
listening.
Friend.
But
great
we're
friend.
listening.
Yeah, he's giving us a lot of ideas, and we'll definitely for sure, we'll try to cover them. But
okay. And who do you got, Anthony?
And now I got a BE10_22, and he says, shout out to Eddie for his upcoming birthday. May all his wishes and dreams come true.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And I have one more, Anthony.
One more? I thought we were gonna
last one.
I thought we were gonna do 4, but this is gonna be a special one, huh?
And yeah, but this is one more that this person. So this person is at _known_A1.
Is that Gomez?
Yeah, this is our close friend Alexis Gomez.
Gomez.
If you look back on our previous episodes, he was on episode.
Oh yeah, he was.
He was on a guest, but he said, Anthony, shout out to at Sweet B. Another shout out to at Sweet B _treats, and he says shout out to them for making him macadamia cookies.
Hey. Nice.
Maybe we could get a sponsorship from
for sure.
Sweet Treats.
Yeah, for sure.
The Sweet Treats, if you're listening to us.
We'll reach out. Thank you, Alexis. We'll reach out.
We'll reach
out. Thanks for that shout out.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. And, enjoy those cookies. And, Anthony, we're going to close out this episode. And where can they find us at?
You guys can find us at our Roboto Talk page on Instagram and Twitter.
And where can they also listen to this podcast, Anthony?
And you can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or our YouTube channel. And when you go to our YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, comment. It feeds the algorithm. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.